Hey guys, welcome back to Ball's Fan TV, and today we're reacting to my 2023 Premier Division table predictions. And yeah, looking back at them there, I wasn't a million miles off on some of them. Some of them a little bit maybe. I was only maybe one or two places off some, but it's not an impossible league to predict. There's only 10 teams. You can think for the most part, anyway, for at least the bottom two or three, I think I got them mainly spot on. I think the middle of the table, I was a little bit off, but look, we'll get stuck into them anyway. Bottom of the league, I went with UCD, and look, it didn't take a genius to predict that. Let's be honest. I think everyone expected UCD to finish bottom of the league. I think I was watching the video back, and I think I mentioned that. They lost a couple of lads, to England, like Dylan Duffy and others as well. I think Sean Brennan left then came back, so they'd lost a couple of key players. And, I didn't think they'd do much. And like I said, it doesn't take a genius to predict that. I think they finished bottom of the league with 11 points, which is the worst of any team I could remember, to be honest. Probably worse than that long for a team in 2021, I think it was, so, you know, they were pretty poor. But let's be honest, I think everyone expected to go down. On to ninth, I went with Cork. I got that spot on. Cork, I didn't. I thought maybe they'd be a bit better. I was thinking maybe I put them ninth, but it wouldn't surprise me to finish maybe eighth or seventh. But they were really poor. I thought I was looking back at the video, and I do remember saying that they were probably banking on a few lads from coming in from abroad, and a few of them were okay. Like Kustovic, I think was decent. The Swedish fellow who came in on loan. I didn't think Rory Keane would have the season he did. He got what 13 goals, I think it was. Let's check there. Yeah, he got 13 goals. I know he'd performed well in the Premier or the First Division even with Cork, but I didn't think he'd come in and score that many goals. But even that couldn't really save them. They had a lot of poor performances. It was a team that looked disinterested a lot of the time. It was a pretty poor year from them. I would have thought they'd done better, but yeah, ninth place for them. Relegation, obviously, from the playoffs. Not a good season for them at all. And yeah, look, I think that's another one I got spot on. In eighth, I went with Drogheda when they actually finished seventh. Look, I only one place off there. It's not too bad. I thought Drogheda, that they have a good squad. I remember saying that in the video at the start of the season. They already have a pretty decent team there with a good manager and Kevin Doherty. They have players like Markey and Weir. Even Adam Foley can cause problems on his day. So, I thought they'd stay up and that they probably did exceed my expectations a little bit. They ended up finishing 10 points clear of the relegation playoff spot when I thought it might be a bit tighter. But I think that's probably down to the fact that they were part time. But even that didn't really affect them too much. They had a pretty good season, and Kevin Doherty got nominated for Manager of the Year, and that's rightly so. I think he's done a pretty good job there, mate. And I think they they they'll probably kick on next season potentially. I think that they'll probably be even better if they can keep the players that they've got and add to it. I think they'll kick on and improve. So yeah, we've only one place off there, not too bad. I went with Sligo in seventh when they actually finished eighth. I didn't think they'd be that poor now. I thought you'd have a bit of a drab season, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. I looked at the squad at the start of the season and said, look, there's not many goals there since you've lost Aidan Kane. Obviously, Max Mata stepped up and had a pretty good season, but he left halfway through the year, and they got even worse after that, didn't they? They struggled to find the back of the net. There was no real standout player in the squad. You look at some of them. Um, even with leaders like Greg Bulger and all, they didn't really he didn't kick on at all. He had a pretty bad year. I was even saying stuff there about fans boycotting getting season tickets next year and all. So, yeah, look, it's not a good time to be a Sligo fan. If they don't kick on now. I think this is a massive off season for them. They've already added to the squad. We've heard them. I think they signed John Ross Wilson from Shells, which is a pretty decent signing. But yeah, you look at that squad still and think, God, there's very little goals in it. Even your man that he brought in, the Portuguese guy Martelo, I think he only scored a penalty against us, but other than that, he's done very little. Yeah, so you probably worry for Sligo a bit next season, but no, I don't mind Sligo. I think they're a good club. It's a nice little away trip as well. I hope you kick on, but you'd worry for them if if they don't improve the squad over the off season. Um, In sixth, I went with Shells when they actually finished fourth. Look, I was a bit off on this one, let's be honest. I think I probably had them one step ahead, maybe. I didn't think they'd kick on too much from last season. I think they finished seventh in 2022, and then I thought they finished sixth. I thought gradually they'd get a bit better, but I didn't think they'd finish fourth. Look, to be fair to them, they were a tough team to beat a lot of the time. Um, you know, just look at the games against us this season. They were very low scoring. A lot of them were draws and 1-0 wins either way. So, yeah, look, to be fair, they had a very good season. They'll be playing in Europe next year. They'll be delighted with that. Duff's done a pretty good job since he's gone in there. Look, they had a decent team heading into 2023. They had players like Jack Moylan who we knew were good, and they have a good spine there. We said I think I said it in the video. Duff will have them tough to beat, but I just didn't think they'd have that consistency. To be honest, which they found. To be fair to them, I think they were consistently, getting points. Not conceding not that many goals. And yeah, look, as much as I hate to say it, fair play to them. They had a pretty good season, and they'll be delighted to get in Europe. That's the first one. I think I was a bit off on. I said Shares finished sixth when they actually finished fourth. So yeah, that's a bit of a bad one. Well, not a bad one. Only two places off, but that's one of probably that's probably the first one I'm a little bit off by. In fifth, I went with Bowers when we finished sixth. Yeah, look, I'm only off by one, but yeah, look, I think I remember saying it in the video. Look, it's important that we kick on this season, that we try and compete for Europe. Which we did. We only finished 2 points off fourth, but to finish sixth again is a bit of a disappointment, a very big disappointment, in fact. You look at how we started the season and the way that it ended, it was pretty disappointing. Now, I remember saying in the video that at the start of the season, when I did my predictions, that you know there's good numbers in attack. We have a pretty good spine up there. The likes of Afalabi coming back from injury, and who obviously went on to be the joint top goal scorer. I was pretty confident that we'd be better in attack, which we were, but I was concerned about the defence because at the time I don't think we only brought in Casper. I think Novak came in a couple of days after I made that video. I was a bit concerned about the defence, and I think yeah, I was probably proven right. To be fair to Novak and Casper, they had good moments and bad moments, but we still had a few errors at the back a lot of the time last season. So yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing season. I was one off. I thought we'd be better. To be fair, we did finish joint fifth with Dundalk, but we just missed out on goal difference. So it wasn't miles off. It was very close, but yeah, still a pretty disappointing season to finish sixth again. In fifth, I went with, or fourth even, I went with Dundalk when they actually finished fifth. Again, not a million miles off. I just thought that Dundalk, they had the experience in the team, the likes of, Houben and Vardy and, Mountney. Mountney had an injury, but, they still had the experience there. I thought that would probably just get them into Europe, but they finished fifth in the end. I think a couple of points behind Shales. Yeah, they finished with 58 and Shales finished with 60. So look, it wasn't a million miles off. I think a lot of people probably look back at the Dark season and think, God, it wasn't that great. Considering that they were knocked out in the cup by Galway 4-0 in the quarter final in quite embarrassing fashion. But yeah, look, I was not a million miles off on this one. I just felt that I think they brought Robbie Benson back as well. They had Robbie Benson from 2022. They had some pretty good players. Who like you could always rely on him to score your goals. I just felt that experience would just about get them into Europe over Shells and Bowes, but obviously they finished fifth. And yeah, look, there's not much you can say about this one. It was I wasn't a million miles off. So yeah, third, I went with Pats. They finished third. So that's another one I got spot on. Yeah, look, to be fair to Pats, they didn't have a great start, but I always felt that they'd improve. You look at the quality that they had in their squad. Players like Forrester, Mulroney, even Joe Redmond, they had a pretty good squad heading into 2023. And even after the poor start, I just felt that they'd kick on, and I still stuck with them to finish third. And they did, to be fair to them, at the end of the season with a cup as well. So a pretty good year from their point of view. Obviously, they got rid of Tim Clancy and gave the job to John Daly, and he done a pretty good job. He did a very good job, in fact, and he got nominated for Manager of the Year there. And yeah, look, I always felt Pats would be in the top three. They had the quality in their team, and yeah, that's another one I got spot on. In second, I went with Derry, another one I got spot on. I just felt that. Um, they were probably the best team, to put it up the Rovers. They finished with 65 points, so not too far off Rovers. They only finished, I think, 7 points off the top. And to be fair to Derry, I think at the start of the season, they started quite well, and you were thinking, oh, they could potentially, could this be their year? But they never really found that bit of consistency that Rovers had, to grind out games and get the results that they needed. To be fair to Derry, they finished second without really standing out. But they just had the best squad out of the rest of the teams apart from Rovers, and yeah, they'll be pretty. I think they'll be pretty comfortable with how they played this season and where they finished. Second in the league, and they're in Europe again. I think they'll be fairly content with it. They'll obviously want to be pushing Rovers a bit more next season, but I think they just need to find that bit of consistency, like most teams do if they want to challenge Rovers. And yeah, first I went with Shamrock Rovers and they won the league. Look again, I don't think this took a genius to predict. I think nearly everybody felt Rovers would win the league. They just had that. They just have that ability to grind out results. They have that. They have the squad. They got the players to win league titles. We look at the team. Obviously Jack Byrne had a lot of injury problems, so he didn't really feature too much. Graham Burke hit double figures. They have it's a good team. Let's be honest. It didn't take a genius to predict that they were going to win the league this season. And yeah, look, they won their fourth title in a row, and yeah, look, I don't want to give them too much credit for it, but yeah, look, they won the league, and deservedly so. No one really pushed them, and I think that's how I felt it would go. I thought it'd be a bit more competitive, but at the end of the day, I think Rovers would have just prevailed. With the experience they've got, the ability to grind out results and everything else. So, yeah, look, overall, not a million miles off. I think the middle bit of the table is very kind of you always felt that could go either way. You look at Dundalk finishing fifth when I said fourth, Bob was finishing fifth or sixth when I said fifth, and Shrewsbury, the only one I got a little bit off. I said they finished sixth and they finished fourth. So yeah, look, I'm not a million miles off. I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, look, hopefully next season, when I do my predictions, I'll get 10 out of 10. Obviously it's going to be hard, obviously, because it is. I wouldn't say it's a bit of an unpredictable league. You never know where teams are going to finish. But yeah, look, obviously I'll be back doing my predictions again in February. But there'll be plenty more videos to come before that, obviously. So yeah, that's where to end it. Let us know what you thought about the season. What were your predictions? Did you get many right? Were you was off on some? And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.